Welcome to the F1 Time Portal. Today, we're sharing our POV on the 2025 Mexican Grand Prix. I'm your host, Luigi.
And I'm your other host, Rosa. So let's go.
There you go.
What did you think? We're going.
What did you think of the race?
Look, it had interesting racing tactics. Like, I like the fact that all the way to the end of the race, there was always opportunity for the finishing order to change. So that was exciting.
That's true.
Yeah, so that was good. It wasn't just there was enough movement in the strategy for people to, Piastri had to take a chance and he had to go and get himself onto softs. Otherwise, he really was going to finish 7th or whatever he was.
Yeah.
So that kind of caused a bit of a domino effect, didn't it, all the way up the grid.
Yeah.
So that was interesting. And, there was some interesting steward calls and investigation calls.
Yeah. Or non-investigation.
Or non-investigation calls. Yep.
Yeah.
Max was doing Max things.
Yeah. We have Mercedes acting like Ferrari.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. And like I said, Max was up to his old tricks of just slicing through the field like a knife through butter, even in a car that isn't that strong anymore.
Yeah. Although this track is a special Max track though, so
yes. I thought it was more of a Red Bull track, but it turns out it's a Max track.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
What did you think?
Yeah, I thought I went in not feeling very positive because my memories of Mexico is like it's better than Monaco, I guess. At least
which one isn't though?
Yeah,
I
know.
The bar's low.
I know, but this one was not far above it, is what I mean. But I just love that grandstand, baseball stadium looking section.
Yes,
I thought that was pretty cool. But I just liked seeing 4 cars side by side into the first corner. The off-track mayhem, which we'll no doubt talk about. There's quite a few interesting things, even though I would say on the face of it, I thought, no, there's not much to talk about. But no, there actually is a bit now that I've thought about it a bit more.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
All right. Well, where do you want to start?
Well, I was going to start the pre-race stuff.
Oh, not the repercussions being removed.
We'll wrap that up. But okay, let's talk about that. So the repercussions have been removed because Piastri took out Norris in the sprint race at Austin.
It was totally a different set of circumstances. And
super soft.
Oh, it reminds me of those parents that put a punishment on their kids and then take it off a day later or a couple of hours later and let them eat lollies again or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a bit weak, really, isn't it?
Super weak. Remember, we were talking about, what's it going to be? Is it going to be Webber making a timing call on the pit stop of Norris, or is it going to be... We went way harsher than what he paid.
And it just only lasted one race. They said it was there till the end of the season.
Yeah, it didn't take long for them to find an excuse.
Didn't take long. No.
Yeah. The other thing I was going to say at the start was Nico Hülkenberg. It was just interesting what he said from in qualifying in what is it, Q1? He said this is like a different track to FP3, and it was like it just showed how much that track evolution. Changed on that track. I mean, okay, I've picked a driver that's not a contender, but I thought it was a really powerful quote. It just makes you realise what the drivers are contending with, probably.
Yeah, well, when you're seeing in was it in qualifying, and you're seeing Ocon at the top of the leaderboard in Q2 and Hadjar and Lawson and Tsunoda, you're thinking, okay, there's some track evolution happening here. Because they're not strong teams. I mean, good drivers, but you wouldn't expect them to be anywhere near the top. So it was a pretty interesting qualifying. Can I mention something, a theme that's been running, and also through social media, about the qualifying session and the poor performance of one particular McLaren?
Yeah, go on. Yeah. Are you going to go down tinfoil hat territory?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I am. There's been a lot of people conjecturing, is that a word? It is now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
About, potential sabotaging of Oscar's car so that he doesn't qualify as well, thereby handing Lando a more favourable position on track compared to his teammate.
Yeah.
And we have had a quick chat about this, haven't we, Louis? And you're there, but Rodler, he didn't do well last year at this time on these tracks. It's consistent with what happened last year.
Yeah.
But I would also say to that last year he wasn't as dominant in the beginning part of the year as he has been this year.
Yeah.
So I didn't expect to see such a similar drop-off this year to last year. I'm not saying I've got my tinfoil hat on. It's just an interesting discussion, don't you think?
It just doesn't make sense for them to sabotage one of their own drivers. It just makes no sense, and how hard would it be to keep that secret? It would be really hard to keep that secret.
I'm not suggesting sabotage. I'm suggesting a little tweak in the setup of that car, which is different to how Oscar expects to feel it and drive it. Is that sabotage? I don't know. It still works.
It's not intentional. Fast. If it's intentional, it's sabotage. But if it's not intentional, it's just business.
I just feel it makes their job easier, doesn't it? It just makes the team's job easier because he's not in the conversation. They're not having to make the hard calls.
I just can't see it happening in this day and age. Now, maybe I'm ignorant. I don't know. But, I mean, remember, I think I did talk about this story.
I don't think you're ignorant. You're just naive. You've got sunshine. Sunshine in your heart.
Well, I like the way Bernie Eccleston did it in the old days. Do you remember the story I told you about the early 80s in the Brabham team? What happened? So I think it was one of the drivers was going to win the championship or needed, whatever, a certain set of circumstances to take place so that the number one driver could be the champion. I'm purposely not naming names because I don't want to give things away for our other podcast. Yeah. So Bernie Eccleston, the team manager and the owner, went to the number two driver and clearly the number two driver, like not in the running to win it at all, and said, if so-and-so's behind you, you let him through. The championship's on the line. The number two driver basically said, no, I won't do that. And you know what Bernie Eccleston did?
Removed its crankshaft.
He went old school. Close. He went old school. He basically told the mechanics to short fill the car with fuel so it couldn't finish. That's how he fixed it. Now, can you see that happening in 2025?
No. I'm not talking about anything as drastic as that. I'm talking about a little setup change that just marginally changes the feel of that car.
Yeah.
To how Oscar expects it. I mean, that would cause that's huge, right? Because these drivers drive on instinct. They drive on second instinct.
Yeah, and they have a way of driving.
They understand the car, what it's going to do under certain circumstances around each track, around each section of each track. And he just looked like he was lost. And he said, I don't have the feeling of the car. It's not doing what I expect.
Well, he even said, I'm looking at a quote that he said after qualifying, and he said it was along the lines of was a good lap. It's just that the pace wasn't there. Like he said, he felt he wasn't battling the car or anything. He felt like it felt like the car normally felt like, but he was eighth, So
I know. Look, I do not have my tinfoil hat on. I think it's just an interesting conversation. I think you're probably right, Lloyd. They're not going to jeopardize one of their two drivers that could win a championship for them. Yeah. Max is there breathing down their necks, doing Max things. So they're not going to do it. But
I'm going to suggest.
It is interesting.
I'm going to let's make this a sandwich episode, as in the opening is clearly a Piastri Norris chat about the sabotage story. Let's talk about the championship at the end.
Okay.
And talk about the race in between.
Sure. Let's
go. What
do
you reckon? Okay.
Let's go.
So what are some of the comments you have about the start, like the early part of the race?
Oh, it was mayhem. We had cars going off the track every which way.
Yeah.
It was interesting because we had Leclerc going off for some reason. No one could figure out, and he wasn't even really investigated for that, was he? Or he was investigated and it was no
you know what he
action.
did? It was dodgy what he did. I don't think he did it on purpose, of course. I think, okay, I might be, in fact, I need to be exact, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. It was Norris, Hamilton, Leclerc. They had their little incident. Leclerc went off and came out in front of Norris.
Yes.
Leclerc let Norris through, but not
Hamilton.
I thought that's dodgy. Poor Hamilton got punished for staying on the track. And Leclerc did just enough to not be punished.
Yeah. Well, they did talk about that on the coverage, and I think they ended up concluding that he was just ahead of Hamilton. So he didn't have to, before all the altercations, so he had the corner. So he didn't have to give a place to Hamilton. He didn't lose a place. He didn't gain a place of Hamilton. He already had it. But it was line ball. It was line ball.
I felt like he needed to give the place back to Hamilton. Yeah. But having said that, of course, if it was another team, that'd have been crying on the radio. But it was the same team, so it was silence, unusual silence. You know,
and then
unlike George, but we'll get to George later.
Yes, we'll get to George later. And then we had Max go off, didn't we? He was the next one that went off.
Yeah. No, he went off first, actually. He was first.
Oh, was he the first one? Sorry, I've got Charles rose-coloured glasses on. And, that was interesting too, but he gave the position back straight away.
Yeah. And this is why I was digesting all of this, and I think there has to be a way to stop all of this. I mean, admittedly, it was entertaining, but what I mean is we've talked about this, but this was previously we've talked about this, Rosa, but they should put some sort of disincentive to punish them for going offline, like, I don't know,
gravel.
I was thinking gravel, don't let them drive. And why is that runoff nice and straight? Because that's why Max got back in the lead, wrongly. But, if they just made it curve and put a couple of hassle things in the way, you're going to make them really try hard to stay on track.
Well, gravel traps do that, don't you? Because you get stuck in gravel traps, or and you roll on the floor, and all sorts of things happen on gravel traps. So
that'd be cheap to implement.
Grass is very forgiving, isn't it? It's like you're just mowing the lawn. Is that what they say?
Yeah.
So
and they had roads there. They had roads.
Well, that brings me to the Hamilton one. So Hamilton went off. He was trying to do something. I think was that the one where he tried to. Anyway, he went off on the slip road.
Yeah. Yes.
But he didn't go down the slip road. He went across the grass.
Yeah.
So they then investigated him for not following race director's instructions to use the slip road. And that was no further. Yeah, so that was no further investigation, which seemed weird to me. I was like, that is a black and white rule. You go and you have to use the slip road, the escape road or whatever they call it, and he didn't. But they said no further investigation. But then they gave him a 10-second penalty for was it causing a collision?
Yeah, was that with Max?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, that was really interesting, wasn't it? Like,
yes.
I mean, I don't think there's favouritism towards Hamilton.
I don't think so. I don't either. Was that the one where
it's Brazil that gave him the citizenship, not Mexico?
Yeah, no, that's right.
Yeah.
I think it was with Max, but did Max sort of dive bomb in from a very far way back?
It was. I think Max was. I wouldn't say it was a bad move. Like, it wasn't like. I mean, I've seen Max do a lot worse. Let's put it that way. This is like clean for Max and pushing it for everyone else.
Yeah. So that was interesting I know I didn't think that really deserved 10-second penalty for Hamilton.
No, looked ridiculous. It was we've seen much harsher things get ignored.
Yes.
So I agree. I felt sorry for Hamilton in that regard.
I felt sorry for him too. Yeah. So he's not only diddled by his teammate, but then he gets a very harsh penalty on a move that Max tried, which was, you're right, it wasn't atrocious, but he was coming from a long way back and trying to go on the inside there. So there was interesting. It was interesting. The beginning of the race was interesting, I thought.
I've got a couple of other things, like Piastri. Obviously, not only did he qualify, he qualified 8th but got 7th because of Sainz's penalty, but it took him 10 and Tsunoda got past him at the start, so he fell back. I can't remember exactly what position he was. He lost 1 or 2 spots.
I think he lost 2 because I think he got to 9th. Yeah, he was 9th. He was running 9th.
He spent 10 laps behind Tsunoda.
I know.
And when he got past Tsunoda, it was like I blinked and suddenly he had 5 or 6 second lead over him. So it just showed how much pace he did have in hand.
That's right.
But he just spent too long behind. 10 laps out of 70.
Here's the question. Was it because it's impossible to overtake at that track and these cars can't follow closely behind one another to actually get in a good position to overtake? Or do you think he was just too conservative and he just didn't know how to, well, not that he didn't know, but he just didn't take the initiative to overtake? What do you think?
I think it's the latter.
I think there was too much on the line, wasn't there? And Tsunoda's a bit bullish on the track as well. He's closed the door on people before and had accidents. So, he probably was very cautious, wasn't he?
Yeah, maybe a little bit too much. I mean, he may have been a little bit shell-shocked to have lost 2 places, you know? So he was like, okay, I can just see the headlines. I wonder if that's what he's doing. He's thinking of the headlines. You know, he what is it when you bump, you have one of those like mid-race collisions that are nothing and you're out, and that's because you're driving with the riffraff. You know what I mean? And Tsunoda, with all due respect, you know.
He's not up there as a really strong, like a strong, pairing with Max, is he?
Yeah, no. Yeah, I was going to just mention, we haven't mentioned Behrman yet, but I mean, but I'm still talking about the early part of the race. I think most of the race is the early and a bit at the end.
Yes,
on lap 6, Behrman getting up to 4th. And I know he went up to 3rd at one point, went back to 4th again, but spectacular. You know, so early, and he stayed there the whole time. You know, he was playing with Hamilton and Verstappen and not freaking out. Do you know what I mean? That was good. No. I like seeing that.
Yeah, no, it was good. It was interesting that they pitted him for softs.
Yeah.
At the end. Like he had track position and then he lost track position and then I don't know. It was Max. I think Max was always going to catch him, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think what they did was the right thing because they only just held on to 4th as it was.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that has probably, like, you know, when you've got a McLaren under you and the tyres are gone, it probably feels pretty good. It probably feels like a Haas with fresh tyres.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. No, that was a really good result for him. I think that, he's got the pace, doesn't he? He's going to be a future champion.
You can see Ferrari's going to start tightening their grip on him now because he's starting to show, you know, he's only raced 20 or whatever it is in his career. Lap 3, Lawson.
Oh, Lawson.
Yeah. And I'm going to say, shall we pivot to the latter part of the race?
Sure. Yep.
Okay, so at the end, as we know, what was it, 2 laps to go? They pulled out the VSC completely unnecessarily when Sainz's car was,
Can I just say Sainz had the shockiest shocker of a race in a long time, right?
His qualifying was good though.
But man, was it chaos. But yes, he parked his car behind a barrier.
Yeah. And so this is where I'm going to be. I mean, we're going to rant about that VSC. We're going to rant about it. But I will say that the idea of the VSC is virtual safety car. The middle word is safety, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, they pull out the VSC, way big knee-jerk reaction.
Yes.
But on lap 3, Lawson's just about to kill 2 mechanics that are running across the road. I mean, where's your VSC? Where's your safety car? Where is safety? It's like, how can you be so flippant on one side and then like over the top conservative on the other?
Yes.
So
yes, it was a knee-jerk reaction. Although it took a while for the VSC to get deployed. Like they just had the double yellows there for a while.
Yeah.
And then and we thought, okay, well, and then the VSC came like a lap later. It wasn't immediately, you know what I mean? So it was strange. And then why? I guess they didn't want it to end under a virtual safety car. So then they just gave half a lap of some sort of weird,
tokenistic.
Yeah.
You know what? Just keep it under virtual safety car because that's what you've wrecked the end of the race anyway.
You've wrecked it. Yeah.
You've wrecked the 2 big challenges we had, which was I think the second and fourth.
Mm-hmm. It was Verstappen on Charlie. Verstappen on Charles and Piastri on, who was he trying to, Kimi? Was it Kimi at that point?
No, he was trying to get Behrman.
Was
that
right.
Behrman? He came fifth in the end. Piastri.
Yes, it was Behrman, yes.
So, I mean, I guess that we're in the latter parts of the race. What did you think of the Mercedes situation? We haven't seen.
Oh, that was laughable.
Yeah, it's not like Mercedes to do this, is it? And George lost it, of course. Right, I think George rightfully lost it, as he should.
Yeah, it's interesting. If you think back to Mercedes when it was Hamilton and George, this stuff never would have happened. No. I did hear, though, that Toto wasn't there yesterday. He wasn't at the race.
Interesting. Oh, yeah, because they had to have a break. Yeah.
Yeah, so someone else was filling that role. I don't know who it was. So maybe some of that leadership was missing. But look, George had a point. Like he was trying to stave off Piastri behind him, hitting up his brakes and he's using up his tyres. And Kimi was holding him up. And he had a fair point. He was just let me pass. And if I can't catch, I think that was Behrman as well. If I can't catch Behrman, I'll give the place back.
Yeah.
Which he made a fair point, but they left it so long. It was like 5 laps.
It was a joke. It's a bit like that time when Hamilton famously said to the Ferrari team, what do you like when he had a similar situation with Leclerc and it was like, what are you guys doing having a cup of tea there?
Yeah, I think George even said, do you just want me to let him pass? And they go, oh, no, thank you. He goes, okay, just checking. I was like,
attitude.
He is a very angry man. Exactly.
Sarcasm is the best. When people use sarcasm when they're angry, it's so beautiful.
Yes. So, he had a point. But you know what? When he did get past Antonelli, he didn't really have the pace, did he? He didn't really catch Behrman.
But he'd used up the best of his tyres by then.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm not saying he would have got him, though. I'm not saying he would have got him, but you never know. He would have had a chance.
He ended up – where did he finish, Louis? I think Piastri ended up overtaking him, didn't he?
Yeah. And
so that's –
And
that's another, I guess, point on his behalf that if they'd let him through, he probably would have been able to stave off Piastri a bit better with better tyres as well at the end.
Yeah.
So they sort of did him in twice.
Yeah, so I think there's going to be lots of talks behind the scenes, or Toto won't go on holidays anymore or something.
He'll be on the phone. Yeah. Anyway, I know.
Yeah, so Williams were nowhere. We talked about Sainz, but even Albon was having a shocker. So Williams have just said, goodbye 25. We're just going to...
I think,
Yeah.
Albon's radio messages are just so different to his persona outside of the car. Like he's one driver. Like normally the guy in the car is the same as the guy in the well, maybe Charlie gets a bit, but he is just markedly different. Like out of the car, he's so sort of nice and understanding and tolerant, and then in the car he just turns into like just the most obnoxious man. Yes.
Yeah, he's a mean man.
So
I guess he's the definition of road rage.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Or white line fever or whatever you want to call it. But
Yeah.
no, look, he also had a point though, didn't he? Like they were nowhere. They didn't have a strategy. Their car was not the right setup. I don't know.
Yeah.
And Sainz had a shocker.
Yeah. He just fell back and just disappeared.
He sped in the pit lane. He sped in the pit lane. He got 5 seconds, but I think the delimiter or the speed whatever thing wasn't working.
Yeah, but I thought it was automatic, but I think the drivers have to press it when they go
have to
into
press
the pits.
it.
Yeah, but if they press it a little bit too late, bang.
I think what I heard was that he'd pressed it, but the car was jumping forward. So it wasn't.
So I got a little boost. Yeah.
So it didn't fully engage the delimiting nature of the button. And because he complained whether he was trying to protect himself a little bit and, give a little excuse there. But he said the car keeps jumping forward. I'm driving, but it keeps jumping. So I don't know.
Okay. I was going to ask you, I looked it up on the internet. Why were people booing at Lando? Like now, are you having a quick look on Google? I couldn't find the reason why, but I admit I didn't spend more than 2 minutes looking. But I just wondered what it was.
Is this at the end? Is this at the end?
Yeah, both when he was being interviewed after winning the race by the guy, right after, and then when he was on the podium, when the car was being revealed up on the
they've got that. Yeah.
The booing was there. And I was like, I wonder what's going on there. Like, I wonder if there's this big Dutch contingent or Max fan base. Because I didn't think Lando had done enough in his career to deserve booing.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
I mean, I personally think no one deserves booing. But anyway, they were cheering on Max when he was nearly overtaking Leclerc. So maybe he does have a big
Dutch contingent in the US and Mexico.
Or maybe the whole Mexican, the Perez, Red Bull, Max. I don't know.
Oh yeah. They probably think it's still Perez in the car. Tsunoda's in roughly the same. Tsunoda's in the same position as Perez.
Yeah, no, I didn't notice that. To be fair, though, I didn't watch any of the
after stuff
interviews. Yeah, I had to race off. So
yeah. And the last thing I was going to say was just the final wrap up was where to from here for our two protagonists, or three really.
Well, what's Lando's ahead by 1 point now, which is nothing.
Is Piastri going to have maybe the nervous shackles that have stopped him? Maybe now that he's not leading, it would be so funny if the next race Piastri just gets pole, dominates the race and wins, and it just shows it's all the psychology of leading. You know what I mean?
It's Brazil though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Brazil next race. I don't think Piastri did very well at Brazil last year either.
But that was only the second time. So
yeah.
As an F1 driver, I mean.
Yeah.
What's your pick? Do you think he's going to come back? I think he will come back. He's probably going to say, "Give me the car that I had in Zandvoort."
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to suggest Max is out of it. Like, he needed a win this race. He needed to win 4 out of the 5 races, so he's really got to win the next 4 races. So I'm going to count him out, and it's really between Lando and Oscar. I reckon Oscar's going to come good. I did hear someone say that in all of his F championships that he's won, like F2 and F3 and F whatever the one before, after F3 or before F3 was, he was in similar positions. Like, he had a big lead at the front and then struggled at the end, but won them all, came through and won them.
This is his method.
This is his method, exactly. So I'm going to back him in, I think. I think he's probably got more. I trust him more than I trust Lando. Like, even so, do you remember? I think Lando said something like, after he got pole, they went on the radio, "Fantastic lap, well done, you've got pole." He goes, "I don't even know how I did that." He goes, I prefer not to ask too many questions. I was like, what? I don't know.
Yeah.
He just seems to be a passenger driver. You know what I mean?
I actually think Lando has really impressed me lately, especially the last race when he got his elbows out. Who was it he up against? I can't remember who he did it with, but it was like a real aggressive move. And I thought, we haven't seen you do this, Lando. And how many times have we seen Lando screw up a start?
Yeah,
so many times, especially if Max is next to him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Max was always in the first corner, but not anymore. It's I think Lando has turned a bit of a corner, and I think
absolutely.
I'm not saying Piastri has stayed still. He's definitely gone back. Something's gone wrong, but Lando has also gone up a bit, and I think I agree. Making it look like that's why he was 0.7 ahead in qualifying, which is massive.
Yeah. It's massive. So I know.
I'm still hoping Piastri wins, but my instincts tell me now that when drivers do that leap, they don't normally go back down again.
And when drivers take a step down, they don't come back up.
They can sometimes
this late
hold
in the
on.
season.
They can sometimes hold on, like Jenson Button did in 2009.
Yes,
when he was coming fourth and fifth all the time. But Piastri can't do that in this instance. He's got no lead.
No, that's right. Yeah. So which races are left, Luigi? It's Brazil. Oh, I can't. I'm going to have to look at it. There's another American one, isn't there?
Yeah,
or
Las
not?
Vegas, yes.
Las Vegas, that's right.
Yeah.
And then there's Abu Dhabi.
Yes.
That's the last one.
Yeah.
So we've got Brazil, Las Vegas, Qatar, and Abu Dhabi. All right.
Okay, very exciting. So I'm unfortunately I'm saying Norris to win the championship, even though I don't want to say that.
I reckon Oscar will win Las Vegas.
Yeah. Okay.
And Abu Dhabi. I'm not sure about Brazil. I think that's a Lando or a Max one.
Yeah.
And then you got Qatar, which I think Lando won last year, didn't he? He won Qatar last year.
Lando was very strong at the end of last year. So that's why I think we're going into tracks that Lando likes. He's on form. I think he's gone up a gear because he's able to do good starts now, and he's also able to get his elbows out, which is new to him. So we shall see.
Yeah. We shall see. Okay.
Okay. Thanks for listening, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.